From an 11-year-old sporting a sign in the 2001 World Series to finally realizing his dreams of wearing the pinstripes, Garrett Cole's free agent signing with the Yankees is the stuff of legend in the making.
I'm just tremendously excited, and it's the best organization, in my opinion, in the league. There's a process here that Brian spoke to about trying to bring the best people at each individual position to surround everybody with the best opportunity to succeed. I think they've demonstrated that, certainly through Brian's tenure over the last 2 decades. So it instills a lot of confidence as a player when you hear those things, and it doesn't hurt to play for your favorite team.
Obviously, as the manager, when I hear we're going to be in play for arguably the game's best pitcher, that's exciting. I feel like we're a team with championship intangibles. We haven't pushed through yet, but we've clearly been knocking on the door for now a few years, and I just feel like Garrett will be another guy that comes here and fits in.
You know, it's an exciting time for us. We try to with every transaction, whether it's big or small, we always have high hopes and expectations and excitement surrounding the decisions behind them, and looking forward to them leading to real positive things on the field in days and years to come. So this is another chapter of that, obviously a much bigger chapter.
I came 8 outs away from getting a ring. I felt like I could see the light underneath the door, and then it was slammed shut in our face, or it was probably never really opened, actually. I'm as hungry as ever to finish that journey, finish that challenge, and in my opinion, there would be no better place to do it than New York.
Hard to believe it's been so many years since 9/11 and that incredible 2001 World Series. It has been 11 years since the Bombers drafted Cole in 2008, and he opted to enroll at UCLA instead. Timing in life is everything. Perhaps there is more to this synergy. I give my 2 cents in the C list. Stay tuned. Since turning down the Yanks the first time and watching as Pittsburgh, the team that drafted him, worked out a deal with Houston and bypassed the Yanks a second time, Cole had to wait for his Yankee moment. It came Wednesday as the star right-hander was fitted for pinstripes at an introductory news conference. The Yankees announced the signing of Cole to a 9-year contract extending through the 2028 season with a player opt-out after the 2020 campaign. While the team did not announce financial terms, multiple reports have pegged it at a record-setting $324 million. The 29-year-old lost a close vote to his then Houston Astros teammate Justin Verlander for the American League Cy Young Award this year. Cole went 20-5 with a career-best 2.50 ERA, but he was almost unhittable during the second half of the season. He finished 16-0 with a 1.78 ERA over his last 22 regular season starts. Cole has been unhittable. Met star Yoenis Cespedes has been unplayable due to injury. Now he looks like potential trade bait. Who would have thought it? Teams have reached out to the Mets about a possible Cespedes deal, according to reports. As was reported earlier this week, Cespedes and the Mets agreed to amend the remainder of his contract, which before the agreement had him being owed $29.5 million for the 2020 season. That's a lot. The amended contract, inspired by Cespedes injuring himself on his ranch while rehabbing from foot surgery, entails a significant reduction of his 2020 salary. He'll be owed something less than $10 million next year. The 34-year-old spent most of the last 3 years off the field, playing in a combined 119 games in 2017-18 before missing the entire 19 campaign. He is said to have resumed baseball activities and should be ready to go for spring training. If a team wants to find out if he has anything left in the tank after all this time, they'll have to send some talent back to the Mets to find out. Jacoby Ellsbury had plenty of talent, but perhaps a career year or maybe injuries like Cespedes or a bit of both were simply too much to make his move from Boston to the Bronx in free agency ever a match made in heaven. Last month, we learned that the Yankees were attempting to withhold money owed to the recently dismissed outfielder because the oft-injured veteran sought medical attention from an outside facility. The Yankees owe Ellsbury a bit more than $21.1 million for the 2020 season, plus a $5 million buyout for his 2021 club option. The doctor Ellsbury saw said last month that he received approval from the Yankees for Ellsbury's treatment for a non-work-related injury. The Major League Baseball Players Association has filed a grievance on Ellsbury's behalf against the Yankees. The matter can eventually be resolved via settlement or through arbitration. It is likely that both sides come to an agreement or on a settlement in which the Yankees would recoup some but not all of Ellsbury's remaining salary. Ellsbury is looking for a new job. Seems like Daniel Jones might get his old job back too. Jones was a full participant in practice Thursday. Giants head coach Pat Shurmur said the G-Men's rookie QB feels good. He is trending towards Jones starting Sunday's game on the road in Washington against the Redskins. Former Giants head coach and future Hall of Famer Tom Coughlin won't be doing his job on Sunday. The Jacksonville Jaguars fired the executive vice president of football operations on Wednesday evening, a decision that the owner announced while saying he initially planned to wait until after the season reunion. Former Jets great Winston Hill, who protected Joe Namath's blind side, is a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame Centennial class. Hill is one of 20 finalists. 10 will be chosen for the Hall. Hill, a member of the Jets' Ring of Honor, seen here, made 8 Pro Bowls from 1964 to 1973. As for Gang Green, they host Pittsburgh at the Meadowlands this Sunday at 1 p.m. Time for some quick hitters. We begin with some sad news. Motorsports safety pioneer Bill Simpson died Monday after suffering a stroke last week, according to the Motorsports Hall of Fame. He was 79. Simpson was a 2003 inductee of the Hall of Fame, which recognized his long career in racing. He began as a drag racer and moved on to open-wheel racing, finishing 13th in the 1974 Indianapolis 500. After ending his career as a driver, he focused on Simpson Performance Products, which he founded. One of the company's primary thrusts was racing safety, of which Simpson became a passionate advocate after breaking both arms in a 1958 drag racing crash. R.I.P. Mr. Simpson. The New York Knicks, who have looked a lot better under their new interim head coach, are in Miami tonight to face the Heat. 8 o'clock start there. The Nets, which fell 118-105 in San Antonio last night, returned to Brooklyn to face the Hawks Saturday, 6 p.m. tip against Atlanta. With Kyrie Irving out with a shoulder injury, Spencer Dinwiddie has been a revelation for the Nets. So what happens when Brooklyn's all-star guard returns? That's the big question. How about best basketball Hall of Fame class ever? That could be on the horizon. The 2020 Hall of Fame class will be a special one. The Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, that's the proper name, announced nominees on Thursday for the upcoming class that's headlined by titans of the game from the last 2+ decades in the association. Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, and Chris Bosh are all sure bet first ballot Hall of Famers, I would say. Other players making their first appearance on the ballot include Shawn Marion, Michael Finley, Tamika Catchings, Swin Cash, and Buck Williams. Finalists will be announced over the NBA's All-Star Weekend in February, while inductees will be named during the Final Four in April. Talk about the best of the best. Best team in New York right now, maybe the Buffalo Bills, or more than likely that title still belongs to, I would say, the Islanders. The Isles beat the Bruins in Boston Thursday night 3-2. They're home to face Anaheim tomorrow at 1 p.m. Rangers skate at MSG tonight. They host Toronto at 7, and the Devils have the tall task of hosting Washington tonight in New Jersey. Puck drop is also at 7. Congrats to hockey all-time great Doc Emmerich on being voted to the Sports Broadcasting Hall of Fame. No one does hockey play-by-play better. No one has probably disappointed more in college basketball than James Wiseman, and that's not a shot at his play, but rather the amount of time we have seen him between the lines. The Memphis Star could easily still go #1 in the NBA draft in June. Knicks. The Wiseman era at Memphis has ended after just 3 games. Wiseman, who has missed the past 7 games due to a 12-game suspension stemming from an NCAA investigation and was set to return at South Florida on January 12th, announced on Instagram, of course, on Thursday that he will leave the program, hire an agent, and prepare for the 2020 NBA draft. Go chase your dreams, boy. We hit the C-list for a man that is simply living his. Who would have thought that a bottle of wine could close a deal? Garrett Cole signed with the Yankees for $324 million, and one suspects that the $324 million was the primary inducement for him to make that deal. But the Yankees sweetened the offer with aromas of cedar and a whiff of toasted oak on the finish. During Cole's introductory press conference, he explained how he's become close with Yankee Stadium visiting clubhouse manager Luke Kukuza over the years. Lou is a Bronx native, by the way. The Kukuza family has a long tradition working behind the scenes at Yankee Stadium. And leave it to a Bronx guy, Rena, not paying any attention, for finding the right booze for the occasion. He noted that on one occasion, Cole showed Kukuza photos of a vacation that he took to Florence, Italy, and a meal in which he had been accompanied by a Massetto Merlot, which is apparently an amazing bottle of wine. I've never had it, and one that registers in the ace starting pitcher's price range. Kukuza remembered this and tipped off the Yankees brass. When they went to court Cole at his California home earlier this month, they brought him a couple of bottles. Of course they did. It reminded me of the scene from Catch Me If You Can, where Frank Abigail Sr. turns to Junior and says, "You know why the Yankees always win, Frank?" Junior replies, because they have Mickey Mantle, to which Sr. responds, "No, it's because the other teams can't stop staring at those damn pinstripes." Yankee fan today, tomorrow, forever. It's a cold, cold world. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.